Lanzarote Airport, where temperatures soar.
Don't you swear at me!
I like her. I will. I swear to God, if I go for that plane, I'll have her.
Planes didn't have passengers would be a lot better, I think.
Tricky passengers are pounced on.
Seashells on the seashore.
Yeah, all right, well, that doesn't make any difference to me. You know, you're making me feel ill with the fumes from your breath.
There's no way out for some.
I'm in Lanzarote. I'm 2,000 miles away from home. I've got 2 children waiting for me, and I have no way of getting back.
I've got no credit cards, no nothing.
Where holidaymakers push reps to the limits.
From now until about 7:30, it's quite crazy. We have 2,000 people arriving in that period of time.
Just lost 6 people, that's all.
And it's not only passengers that go missing.
It's a holiday nightmare. We're after losing our luggage. Or our luggage has lost us.
Where life can hang by a thread.
They just have to wait until we continue boarding.
The sun-drenched Spanish island of Lanzarote, an Atlantic paradise just a stone's throw from Africa. We Brits have taken it to our hearts, creating a little piece of England with guaranteed sun. Over 1 million of us arrive every year with chilling out on our minds, but it's inside the airport terminal that temperatures can really soar, and today is no exception.
I'm not having people laughing at me. I've seen better faces on props, I've seen bigger men on wedding cakes. And you, mate, don't even come into them. I don't know what you're laughing at, love. Try looking in the flipping mirror. Oh no, I forgot your card. You'll break it, won't you, scraggy neck? Because you picked on the wrong one here, because I'll lay you flat out.
This woman got stuck between 2 queues and couldn't get to the front.
Tell her to stop laughing because I'll flatten her. Look, love, you're looking at me. Look at that ugly all next to me. All right, please look at her.
Right, there's no need to be rude. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Oh,
I'm going to
no.
check you in now. But you cannot continue like this.
Well, then tell her.
Kim Talbot is running the check-in. It's her job to calm things down.
I like her. I will. I swear to God, if I go for that plane, I'll have her. I will.
You're very ignorant and you're very rude.
You've got a big mouth.
And you don't know what you're going to do about it. Don't you swear at me. Don't you swear at me. Shut up, we were in the right queue.
No, you weren't. You're in the queue behind the baggage.
See then, who do you think you're a flipping pilot? You can't fly a kite, you silly bastard.
This is just an airport, yeah? Can everyone just stand
We'll have
up?
them later. I'll tell you what, I'll have to tell you what. Are you going to have a word with them people?
Well, we will have to tell the captain on board what's happened here at check-in.
Yeah, because you asked that man and lady. I didn't do nothing. I was just getting there, and the big one went, knocked me flying and told me to F off, and then called me a slut and all, which I ain't. And I'm not being called that by no one.
What tends to happen around the check-ins, there's a lot of people, so the only thing I can do is get in the middle, which is a little bit dodgy because if something had happened, I could have taken a punch. Because she was really angry, the woman. But I think it's the way she speaks. She's from the south. We split the passengers up, make sure that they're at the front of the aircraft and he's at the rear of the aircraft.
All over what?
All over because she didn't want to wait an extra 2 minutes or she didn't get in the right queue. I mean, we haven't had any queues today.
Tempers have cooled and the plane takes off without further trouble. Arrecife Airport has been designed with one thing in mind, the holidaymaker. And over 5 million of them come and go every year. It's the job of the ace handling team to put bums on seats, and they will go to any lengths to do it. A passenger on the 12:45 to Gatwick has gone missing at check-in. Teresa Baker, the head of ACE, is on a manhunt.
I'm looking for a man who was overbooked on one of the first flights. We've got a seat for him. I've got his ticket. His rep's down there. She sent him up here and we don't know where he is. And Kim's the only one who knows what he looks like.
There was 2 of them. One of the men sat down there where I asked him to sit and stayed there, and I said I'd come and find him as soon as I know what's going on with the Monarch flight. He sat there. As soon as I knew that I had a seat on this, went over and got him. He's checked in. He's gone 10 minutes ago. The other one I just can't find anywhere. Anywhere. He's got a really shiny bald head. Normally you can see it, you know.
What does he look like? Bald head.
With dozens of people waiting on standby, Mr. Vine's seat is in great demand. If they can't find him, it'll be sold to someone else.
Try and find Mr. Ryan.
Previ un hombre calvo en la oficina de Jill. No lo veo para ninguna parte.
Can't find him anywhere. I've got to close the flight, so I don't know. He's disappeared off the face of the earth.
With the flight about to board, Kim gives his flight to someone else. He has no air, and now he has no seat.
Go chill. What had happened is the rep had booked him onto another flight but hadn't told us. And normally if that happens, they'll come and tell us straight away, so we're not running around like loonies trying to find him. I didn't want to let a standby go if he was still left on the ground. So if they'd have told us, it would have been much easier.
Back in the ACE office, getting passengers without tickets onto flights is a big part of the job.
It's an extremely busy day for standbys. People come out with one-way tickets, and then because they were cheap and they were easily available, and they think that the way back's going to be the same, but the reason they couldn't get a return was there weren't any.
Andrea and Lisa have just landed in Lanzarote. They're on a radio competition to get as far away from Manchester and back as possible in 24 hours on just £300.
We've got no funds, this is the only
Honestly,
problem.
we've been at Manchester Airport since 7 o'clock yesterday morning. We've had no luck.
They arrived on one-way tickets and need to get off the island if they want to stay in the race to win a £10,000 car.
I was just saying that
We
airline's
used our money getting over here, we've only just got here and we need to get back now.
either that or if we can get to America and back, and then obviously this will be the winner.
You need to see Iberia if you want tickets to America, but if you don't have any funds, you won't be going anywhere, I'm afraid. They won't give you free tickets.
Is there any way that you could help us though?
We both put you standby on a Manchester flight.
Right, okay.
All
Thank you.
All right.
So much.
They've got to get as far away from Manchester as they can before tomorrow morning, but they didn't leave till this morning. Somebody's gone to the Dominican Republic. Well, I don't think they'll be getting back before tomorrow morning. So, but they've got to do it apparently without money. I did ask them, did I get a chance to win it? Apparently I just get fame and fortune. In Stockport, where I already have it for the amount I spend on shopping at Christmas.
Curtis Clements has had fame. He's a 60s soul sensation, the lead singer with the Foundations. He has a sell-out gig in Milton Keynes tonight, but a long delay means he's on the brink of losing £5,000 and disappointing thousands of fans.
This is serious because, you know, like, I mean, you know,
I
don't mind
it.
an hour late, but, you know, like...
It's due to leave at 5, so it's actually going to be
Leave at
4 hours.
5,
Yeah,
and
which is
so-
going to be 3.5 hours late.
It's going to be... I'm too late to go and work.
Yeah.
You know, my band is waiting on me. The company is waiting on me.
I appreciate all of that.
It's not appreciation because you ain't helping me. Don't you have somebody higher than you?
No.
So you're the boss and you can't do nothing.
I can't do anything about taking people off a flight to put you on it. The flight is booked full. If there are seats on the 3:20, if people don't turn up, I will put you on. There is no guarantee.
I was at this airport in Monarch once for 35 hours. The plane was delayed. We got to the departure desk twice.
Tomorrow I'm at Skegness. Right, the day after Minehead. 35 hours? Oh,
35 hours.
Yes.
35 hours.
Well, not tonight, if they have to find a way to get me out of here because they can't afford to pay me the money I'm losing.
Well, I know, but I've been, you know, I have my business to open and I didn't get open.
Right, so let me go have a word. I'll see you guys in
Curtis could wait for a standby, but there's no guarantee he'll get on. He's due on stage in 6 hours and is desperate not to let down his fans. Coming up, we meet Ace Handling's only male member.
He's very good with all us women. Very, very good.
Little Amy is split from her family.
Got up to board and she just said, what are these?
And it seems there's no way home for Andrea and Lisa.
I just can't see light at the end of the tunnel.
A long delay is stopping Curtis from getting back to Milton Keynes for a big gig tonight. He's on his way to Ace Handling, and this time he's brought his manager.
Unfortunately, as English people, we don't complain about things. You know, we just take it for granted. Well, planes won't be late, and there's all those people sitting out there waiting until 5 o'clock, and there's no guarantee there's going to be a plane at 5.
Did they tell you what caused the delay?
No. And that's what I'm saying, you know, explanation of, you know...
Leaves on the runway.
Huh?
There's leaves on the runway.
Okay.
That's what it was. Wet leaves on the runway.
Is that what it is?
Curtis is set to lose thousands of pounds if he doesn't make it back to Milton Keynes tonight.
I mean, it's time we start, you know, saying like the Americans, the French, everybody, it ain't right, you know, you got this, should be there. Happy to take the money, though.
Spending hundreds, buying tickets on an earlier flight is the only option. Curtis's manager flashes the plastic to save the gig.
Anybody else want to pay for this? Go get the whole queue over.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, we're ready.
And then you need to go to check-in number 29, please. And it'll be a case of chase of checking in and then straight through tickets.
Yeah.
You got
my passport.
I have everything.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Break your leg, as they say, have a good gig.
No what?
Break your leg, have a good gig. It's not in show business, that's what you're supposed to say.
You still do it?
Because knowing my luck, I probably do it. Chaps, thank you very much.
Andrea and Lisa have been trying to get out of Lanzarote for hours. They're still chasing the dream prize of a car, but are having no luck getting free seats. With no money and getting desperate, the girls call the radio station running the competition and are put live on air.
Hello, it's me. I'm okay. Very, very tired. Very, very tired. We're here at Lanzarote Airport. Woo! Yes, it's a one-way ticket and we need to get back. No.
Their sob story doesn't get them much sympathy back in Stockport. The station is sticking to the rules and they're on their own.
That was Graham, the presenter. I had a bit of a chat with him just to tell him what the situation is. Then we went live on air, obviously, so everybody can have a good laugh at us once again.
Ace Handling are the eyes, ears and legs of Arrecife Airport. They're a formidable team. And in an office full of women handling planes and passengers, 21-year-old Erkin is the only man.
See what I got parked with. Every day. You know what I mean?
He's very good with all us women, very, very good. I think it's because he lives in a house full of women, he's very used to women.
Having 3 sisters only as well, no brothers, I've had a bit of training how to cope with women. But sometimes they seem to forget I'm there and they talk about things that I don't really need to know.
He may be surrounded by women, but Erkin's real passion is planes.
I don't sit outside looking for planes. I do that on the internet a lot though, but not on actual physical side, sitting outside on the beach looking at planes. But I do know my planes, so I do like them.
It's like Southport where he lives. He sits on the roof with a big old... a big telescope like that. Oh, look, that's a 7.5 just coming in there.
Comedian as well. A part-time kid's a comedian as well. If planes didn't have passengers would be a lot better, I think. But no, it's all right. I don't mind them because my job doesn't entail facing passengers that often.
But today, Erkin is on the front line at check-in, and he's got a tricky Swede to contend with.
I'm just saying that there's no excuses available. I'm sorry about that, sir. I can only apologise, but there's nothing we can do. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing we can do about it, sir. Of course you can do. You can give me my 15 pounds.
The gentleman wanted to sit in an extra legroom seat. He'd bought an extra legroom seat from the UK when he travelled out here, but it's only one way. And he wanted one going back, but there isn't any available on this flight.
I'm travelling for a change.
Erkin has to explain there are no seats with extra legroom, but the Swede isn't happy.
Sorry. Everything was sold out, so I will sit cramped and probably have to stand half of the trip over.
He checks with the crew if there's anything they can do.
SWAT, then he knows that, but he's really kicked off a fuss. No.
They won't,
no.
so they're going to stay where they are?
Yeah, but they've kicked off a right fuss about it, just to let you know.
The Swede is about to board, and Erkin has to face him again.
Okay, the cabin crew can't do anything, I'm afraid, because the passengers that are in the exit rows, they're already sat there, I'm afraid. Sorry. They paid for them seats, so we can't ask anyone to move. All right. I was expecting a handcuff.
Andrea and Lisa have been waiting for 6 hours. There are dozens of flights, but no seat for them. No ticket, no money, and no food.
got a bar of chocolate. It's got to last us. That is it. Until tomorrow morning.
Teresa's trying to get them on a flight, but she's confused where all their money's gone.
Just trying to get my head round this to see what we can do for you, right? On here, it says that you had £300, right? You paid how much for the taxi?
The taxi to the airport was about 10 quid.
Yeah.
Then we had to get a coach from Manchester to Birmingham, and then from Birmingham to Gatwick.
Right, and then you paid £35 each for the ticket.
Well, it was 45 with the tax.
So you still must have some money left.
We've got 20 quid.
20 quid left.
A couple of euros.
So I mean, on here it says that you are responsible for getting back. Did you not think to bring any spare money?
We wasn't allowed.
You weren't allowed to bring anything other than
that?
No. You're only allowed to use what you've been given. You're not allowed to have any other credit source of any sort.
It was just so desperate now to get back.
I'll see what I can do for you, all right?
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. They don't think of the consequences until they have them in their face and they go, I'm in Lanzarote, I'm 2,000 miles away from home, I've got 2 children waiting for me and I have no way of getting back.
Yeah, I just want to go home. Really want to go home. There's no way of us getting out of here. I just can't see light at the end of the tunnel. I really want to go. We've not got no credit cards, no nothing.
They've been to Birmingham on a bus. They've been all over the place.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I just think it's really irresponsible.
I can't understand it. Isn't it seeing the car? Going to win a car. That's all she was thinking about. She's going to win a new car by doing this.
We didn't even know what we were doing until yesterday morning. So we got down to the radio station, that's when they told us. So then it was just a case of just go. So that's what we've done. And this is where we've ended up. In trouble.
They've got a bar of chocolate for their provisions. I think they'll be soon cutting it up into blocks to sort of... Ace Hanlon can help you.
Lanzarote may be a Spanish island, but for the British, it's a home from home. With a backdrop of volcanoes, its black sand beaches are packed with holidaymakers indulging in sun, sea and cerveza. But for these new arrivals, Lanzarote's not going to be a holiday. They are the first choice rookie reps, and for the next 7 months their lives will revolve around keeping the Brits abroad happy, round the clock. Debbie Hallmark is one of their supervisors and will help them settle in. For the summer season, they get an apartment, shared cars and £100 a week wages. Selling the island excursions will earn them commission, extra beer money. But for some, like Leanne Bosley, landing on a volcano has been a bit of a shock.
There's nothing here. Where's the... I can't see anything and I'm distinctly worried by it. I'm going to be kicking off if I don't find a hotel soon.
While Leanne may not be happy, roommates Stephen and Nathan get on with the job of finding their apartment.
Oh, number two. Number two. We're what, 16? 16. Fair enough.
I think I'm definitely going to cry when I ring home tonight. Definitely going to cry.
I'm not going to cry.
I am.
No. I'm not going to cry. There's no point in crying. I'm just going to get on with things. But I've got to say I'm a little bit worried.
Nathan's a bit preoccupied too about the sleeping arrangements.
You might push those apart. Yeah, that's right. Cheers, mate.
I really want to be a rep. It's like my absolute, I've always wanted to do, and I've enjoyed the first show. It's been fantastic, but I am just coming in here now and I'm like, oh my God, there's nothing here.
It'll be nice for you in the morning.
Are you happy with Lanzarote?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, it'll be good. It's home for the next 7 months, isn't it? So it'll be good.
Getting home can sometimes prove the most difficult part of the holiday. Amy and Lisa have been stopped at the boarding gate and are now split from the rest of their family.
We're just got onto board and she just said, "What are these?" And I just said, "I don't know." And she just pulled us aside and told us to wait there, and then we've just been to see the doctor and he said we can't fly. So my husband's took the other 2 children back and we're stuck here.
Amy's broken out in chickenpox. First Choice's Debbie Hallmark is on hand to help out.
Well, the doctor's just informed our hospitem in Puerto del Carmen that she needs just to have a doctor's certificate. So our in our First Choice office are now looking in for you, so they'll have a doctor to come and see her. Okay?
Meanwhile, Kim rushes to get the rest of the family onto the flight.
Stand by here per segundo.
Insurance cover on this?
Yeah, that's the reason why we've put your husband and the 2 other children on the aircraft, because your insurance will cover the person that's involved and the parent. It won't cover the 2 parents, it'll only cover 1.
While the others head back to Lancashire, Lisa and Amy are left to fend for themselves in Lanzarote. It's the first time in 10 years of marriage the couple have been apart.
If you want to follow me, we'll go up to arrivals, we'll get your suitcases and then we'll get you a taxi. So get yourself sorted out. She's definitely got 6.
But it's only just starting to come out.
Sign out.
It's really horrible, but it's just so dangerous. If the whole aircraft went down with it, that would be in big trouble.
It could take another week for Amy to be fit to fly. It's going to be a long, lonely wait. Having sorted them out somewhere to stay, Debbie's back in arrivals for another pressing engagement. Her boyfriend Richard has landed from Gatwick. She hasn't seen him for months.
I know it's been a long time, but I should be able to recognise him.
For the last 3 years, Debbie and Richard have been working together on the cruise ships, and they haven't been on dry land for a long time. But this season they'll be the First Choice supervisors in Lanzarote.
Oh, Richard.
Where are we going?
Right, we're upstairs. I nearly missed you.
Yeah?
Just been dealing with a chickenpox case. Oh, right.
Andrea and Lisa have been trapped in the airport for 12 hours, with just a bar of chocolate between them. There's only one more flight to Manchester today. Lisa has given up hope of winning the car. All they want now are tickets home.
We're not probably extra leg, but
So we should start looking at renting houses, really.
I know.
They can't send us away forever. We'll come back and haunt them.
It's the 11th hour,
Did you fax it through?
and the radio station has been forced to bail them out.
Is that looking hopeful?
You need to check in straight at 35, and if you need to make a call after you've checked in.
Okay.
Flight will be leaving in about half an hour's time.
Right.
All right.
Thank you very much for all your help.
Hey, so we'll help you.
You're not getting the keys to the car, but you can have your ticket home.
I don't care about the car.
After spending 12 hours in Lanzarote without leaving the airport, they're finally on their way home. Coming up, there's an emergency at Gate 6.
It's quite elderly. It could be his heart.
Richard is keeping a secret from Debbie.
Hidden it in a crevice that hopefully Debbie will never clean behind.
And it's a baptism of fire for the new reps.
What do you mean they've gone?
They've had a major row about it all and they've gone.
Gate 6, Lanzarote Airport. A flight to Manchester is on an hour turnaround, but an emergency on board has grounded it.
The man was collapsed, we just need to take him in the ambulance.
Right, they're all right. I've told
everyone
that walked out has walked out now.
Okay.
All right, darling.
Thanks, Jill. All right, love.
Charlotte and Jill from the ACE team are helping the crew deal with it. An elderly man has collapsed on board, and they need to get all the passengers off and the emergency service is on.
One of our passengers needs some assistance with an ambulance, all right?
It's quite elderly. It could be his heart, I really don't know. The doctor isn't saying anything at this moment.
Extra help is on its way from the Red Cross.
All right, it's not a technical problem. It's one of the passengers needs the assistance of an ambulance. If you'd all like to make your way up when we're ready, we can then board you, sir.
The man collapsed as he was taking his seat towards the back. His size and the confined space makes it difficult to move him.
is obviously they just need to get the gentleman off now. His wife's with the crew being comforted, but we need to obviously talk about getting the bags off so that we can carry on boarding, and then just you know, the flight will go. But we've told operations in the UK that usually it takes about half an hour, but obviously depends if they manage to move the gentleman into the ambulift. So just wait and see, really. They decide to bring the gentleman out, and obviously they bring him to the front of the aircraft in the galley, which you know is very tight, and they have to take him round into the ambulift.
He went blue, and it was blue as the sky, literally.
The number one was trying to ask him, you know, blink if you can hear me. He seemed to come round, then he went again.
Having suffered a suspected heart seizure, the man is rushed to hospital where doctors are on standby. Ian Chapman is head of First Choice across the Canary Islands. He's responsible for £45 million worth of business a year. His reps are on the front line, selling the dream.
The Great British public, they're a funny old animal. They love a great time. They love nothing more than a drink. They live for their holiday. People just want to go home with a great suntan and a head full of brilliant memories. And for a rep, the important thing is making sure that you're part of those holiday memories.
And Chapman's new reps on airport training are realising just how tough it is to impress those holidaymakers.
Okay, good morning everybody. Good morning. My name is Leanne and our driver today is... Can I ask that you all secure your seatbelt and that your seat is fitted with one? I can tell from looking around the coach that you have a good... Oh, that's completely wrong. Your check-in desks are number 1 to 20, not 4, no. Your check-in desks are number 20, 30, 31, 32.
On behalf of everybody at First Choice Group and sister companies, welcome to the island of Lanzarote.
Everybody wants to get hold of the first customers, get on the first coach, pick up the first mic, do the first cabaret, do the first welcome get-together. That's probably the big one. Nervous, probably a little bit of self-doubt. Can I really do this job?
I've never talked in a microphone before in my life, so I've never heard my own voice, and when I first talked, I went, oh, it's me.
That's what you're supposed to include in your speech, and you're all trying to get everything in.
Yeah.
But once you're up there,
they don't know what you're meant to say.
If you make a little bit of a blurb, they're not going to know.
No.
How are they going to know? Because you're giving them all the information and you're doing it. It's more practice. It's practice makes perfect.
It's decision day for Amy Steele. A week ago, chickenpox stopped her from flying home. Her mum, Lisa, took it badly. It's the first time she's ever been separated from her husband. Today, they're hoping for the all clear.
I think it was just the shock of it, because, you've had your 2 weeks and you get ready for home, and I was ready for home. And then just to be pulled off at the last minute like that, I think it just shocks you, and then them having to go and, being left here on your own, not knowing anybody, not knowing anything.
It's been an agonising week, stuck in a hotel room, desperate to be back home in Chorley.
¿Qué tal, Amy? Fine. Sube los brazos, arriba. Bien.
So the 5 days plus the 2 days means that now she's able to fly. And you're able to go home.
Brilliant.
Okay. When you see it's healing up, that's the moment when it can't catch you off.
Está todo, tiene todas las lesiones secas. Eso ya no es contagioso.
Okay.
Ya no tiene contagio.
Do I get a certificate?
Yeah.
Sí, ya le firmo.
Now we're just going to make a copy. And that's it.
Okay, Amy? Okay.
Even though Amy's still covered in spots, they're not contagious and they're free to fly home.
¿Puede venir conmigo?
Okay. You can just come with us.
Ya puede volver a su casa.
Okay. Come with us to reception, please.
Okay.
She's absolutely fine now. She's not contagious anymore, so we're fine to fly as of today. Relief. Just want to go home.
Dawn, Thursday, the busiest day of the week at Arrecife Airport. The Brits and the Irish are coming. Up to 40,000 of us come and go on 250 planes. It's known as Mad Thursday. In arrivals, nerves are on a knife edge. What better time for the new reps to get their first taste of the job? For Leanne, it's starting to sink in what it's all about.
The reality is you've got to get up early in the morning, you've got to do your transfers, you've got to have to deal with the general public and the problems that brings with you. And I think it's hitting home to a lot of people now what it's really about.
The first one's always the worst, so just get it out of the way with.
Yeah. From now until about 7:30, it's quite crazy. We have 2,000 people arriving in that period of time. And that's when you see all the reps down here, and it's really busy.
At the busiest time of day, things are made worse when high onshore winds bring 5 flights down early. Dozens of bags on the Irish flights go missing.
This is the dreaded holiday nightmare. We're after losing our luggage. Or our luggage has lost us. All our luggage. No luggage. No clothes, no luggage, nothing. We've got all his clothes, but no clothes to me.
We're just missing one bag. We're not 2 bags. We have 1 bag, you know.
The suitcases could have landed anywhere between Cork and the Canary Islands. For Stephen, it's in at the deep end. Taking control, he sends Noreen and Dennis back to the luggage carousel.
Sometimes we just picks it up, so it'll be swapped over the moment we get to resorts. She'll be back within half an hour, so it'll be good. So they won't even notice it's gone. Right, well, I better go and get my coach.
Leaving Noreen and Dennis to fend for themselves. While back at the desk, confusion reigns.
If that's the case, the bag should be here then, shouldn't they? If they went on the wrong flight by mistake.
Should be. I mean, as soon as you feel this in, they start tracing it straight away, so it can take literally a couple of hours to find out exactly where it's gone to.
Our bus is gone now as well. Like, I mean, how are we going to get to our apartments?
Yeah, we've got loads of flights coming in. I've got a bus every half an hour going. That's not normally.
Half an hour later, Noreen's bag still hasn't turned up. Having no clothes is a bit of a worry.
What happens if my case doesn't arrive in the next few days?
We'll have to deal with that when it comes, but don't worry about it too much. Don't worry about it.
That's easy
I
to say.
I understand that you're obviously short of one suitcase, but it may be that someone, it may be that someone else has taken it. So if we get you checked into your accommodation, then we'll try and get it sorted out as quick as we can.
For rookie rep Leanne, things have started to unravel.
Just lost 6 people. That's all. It's not even funny, is it? Right. It's just. Do you know when you think about needle and haystack? That's how I'm going to look for them.
With no sign of them in arrivals, she heads out to the coach park.
Are you... Hello? Yes! What do you mean they've gone?
They've had a major row about it all and they've gone.
No, what flight are they on?
The little bus here from Dublin.
Yes. Where are they?
They've gone. Basically, he wanted to go on a coach. And he gets claustrophobic, and there were 6 of them, and it was that size. And he was getting very claustrophobic, and he wanted to go on a panic attack. Yeah, so,
that's not good. Okay.
Having lost 6 passengers in arrivals, Leanne goes back to meet the next plane load. After an hour of searching, Noreen still hasn't found her suitcase. But no clothes is not going to stop her making the most of her holiday.
Well, after 22 years of marriage, it'd be nice to go to a nudist beach.
As Noreen and Dennis head for the nudist beach, her bag is found in Tenerife. For us Britons, forming orderly queues is a national pastime. We do it better than anyone else, reluctantly accepting the need to wait our turn. Not that we take any pleasure from it.
If it was a Spanish check-in, they'd all be checked in. But the Brits, they will let them queue.
Simon and Suzanne Mitchell have been delayed in a check-in queue and don't take it lying down, putting Kim under pressure.
Once the people check in, everybody else is checked in before us. Right, well, unfortunately, if we have passengers with wheelchairs and reservations and nervous passengers, and they have to be sat in different seats that's booked for them. Well, yeah, it will do, because the problems we've had are in this queue with big groups of people.
We were here at 10 past 10, it's now 20 past 11. We've got 3 small children waiting to get on this plane. I think it's absolutely terrible, this delay that's taken place. We haven't been given an explanation of why. And here, I'm speechless.
The secret of beating the queues is the speed of the check-in staff.
People are complaining because this queue's taken a long while. This boy is very new.
A rookie can easily throw a spanner in the works.
But this boy is very slow.
The queue on the other side has just been shooting forward. I wish we'd known about this and we could have got into another queue.
The Mitchells eventually make it to check-in,
Sorry, 4.
but Simon can't resist one last dig just to test Kim's cool.
Well, that's got to be some all-time record, isn't it? Hour and 20 minutes?
No, not at all, sir.
Oh, you have people waiting longer, do you?
Sorry? Well, it
People
depends
waiting
what
longer?
type of check-in you've got, but you was at the end of the queue of all the people to check in.
Well, we weren't at the end of the queue when we started.
Well.
We were at the wrong queue. We were in the queue that was...
Okay.
That wasn't
So
moving.
you're checked in now, sir, with seats together.
Thank you.
Okay?
An hour and 20 minutes. Can't believe that.
Well, he says he was in the queue for over an hour and 10 minutes, but he was at the end of the queue. So whether that queue had a problem or not, he was still at the end of it. So that's unfortunate. If he gets here after everybody else queuing, there's not a lot we can do. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Is this little boy with you?
Yes, he's with me. Thank you. Go, Buster. This one.
For Richard and Debbie, it's their first season back on dry land as supervisors. The busy airport days are the most demanding. Today, 2 of the new reps overslept, missing their transfer. Richard will have to deal with it.
Hello there. I'm sorry to hear, I'm Richard by the way, I'm sorry to hear the problem that you've had this morning. What I'm going to try and do is speak to the people at the front of the check-in desk to organise firstly the seats for you, and then we'll talk about what happened with regards to the transfer afterwards. I think the most important thing right now is to try and get you these seats that you need on the aircraft.
Should have pre-booked seats. No pre-booked seats, no taxi turned up for us. Bad.
They weren't collected in resort, so the problem started there. And on arrival they've had a problem because their pre-booked seats aren't there either. So we're trying to organise that for them in view of the fact they've got an infant child, whilst trying to apologise to the guests that we're holding up in the queue as well.
There's been a breakdown somewhere and I'm not sure that these reps actually know what the problem is. He said it was a breakdown with probably computer information. Like, once you say that you just think, crikey. He doesn't know what's happened then.
Well, like, is he got 2 seats, have you?
He's got more than 1 seat, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's ready to do it.
The guests get their flight home, but Richard and Debbie have to sort out the new reps who overslept and missed their transfer.
Best way for the new reps to learn is through experiencing these sort of different situations, and they'll make the mistakes, but they'll learn from them, and they've got the support of everyone around them anyway. They'll get over it.
They care, that's
Exactly.
the main point. They do really care about their job, so, you know, it won't happen again because they care too much.
A week ago, Ian McDougall was boarding a flight to Manchester when he collapsed and his heart stopped. Swift action by the Air 2000 crew saved his life. Today, he's been discharged and given the all-clear to fly home. His daughter, Bernadette, who lives in Lanzarote, has brought him to the airport.
First they told us it was a heart attack, but a heart attack involves cramps to the heart, which wasn't the case with Ian. His complaint wasn't a heart attack as everyone knows it, but he still died for 2 minutes.
Didn't particularly feel any different like than bingo, the next minute I'm out apparently.
If it wasn't for the promptness of the cabin crew resuscitating him, he wouldn't be here now.
And I thank them people, you know, it did obviously save my life and what have you, so very grateful, but as I say, I can't remember it. Well, once I get out of hospital, I'll probably hit my usual pub and treat myself to a pint. I think that'll be my pint for the day. I might make it a double whiskey instead, and that's it.
It's just getting on a bit. Getting back on a plane must be very difficult for him again. He's a brave man, but that initial just getting on board.
Finally fit to fly, Ian heads home to be fitted with a pacemaker. The town of Puerto del Carmen is where first-choice supervisors Richard and Debbie live. Richard arrived on the island having made the biggest decision of his life, but keeping it a secret from Debbie has been difficult.
I met Debbie kind of after my first 3 kind of wild years, and then we went to Menorca and calmed down a lot. And over the course of the last 3-4 years, you know, we've kind of built up this really close relationship, and I was ready last year, and it's just taken now kind of like 6-8 months to get round to actually getting it organised. Well, I actually came away with the ring when I arrived at the airport that day, and I had it hidden in my bag. So when I got here, having not seen this apartment before, I had to find a hiding place straight away. I've hidden it in a crevice that hopefully Debbie will never clean behind, because she's quite a big cleaner. And but I'm pretty sure, I'm definitely sure that she hasn't found it or seen it, because it's hidden upwards, just out of the way here. I'll show you if you like. Basically, the little beauty is up here, and I can just feel it now. In fact, I can take it down. It's got like masking tape holding it.
Oh my God, what?
And look, there it is. So,
You've been carrying that around in your pocket.
I had this for 4 days in my pocket. Got it in the UK. I've not actually seen it for a couple of months. And there it is there.
Coming up, Jill has to sniff out a drunken passenger.
He was lying on the floor over there, so it's obvious there was something wrong with him.
Well, I weren't drunk, I weren't causing a nuisance or anything. I just probably smelled a beer, that was all.
And has Richard got the bottle to pop the question? Saturday evening in Lanzarote, and life at the airport rolls on. It's a rare night off for Richard and Debbie. He's been planning this for months, booking a table at one of the most romantic restaurants on the island. Everything is in place. All that needs to hold now is his nerve. Debbie has no idea what's on the cards, or that she's being secretly filmed. There have been a number of false alarms over their 4 years together. It's all going well, until Debbie gets onto the C word.
I know you don't like making commitments, Richard, but there's something, honestly, you just got to wise up to the fact that...
What, I'm getting old?
No, I need to do things.
What do you need to do?
I need to get myself sorted out.
A couple of years. If we start planning it in, like...
Yeah, I'll be old and grey.
Cheers. To us.
The toast goes nowhere. Could the nerves mean he's having second thoughts? The pressure of commitment and finding the right moment may be proving a bit much for Richard. Back at the airport, a long delay on the last flight to Birmingham is causing a cocktail of problems for the ace handling team. More time in the bar has pushed one man over the edge. Jill is on the prowl.
He was spotted at the check-in. They put his bag on standby, which is a great help. We don't have to look for his bag. He was lying on the floor over there, so it's obvious that there was something wrong with him. So I went up, made him stand up, and he's all over the place. Stinks of drink. So we're not going to take him.
She tracks him down, dazed and confused, at the gate.
Spoken to the crew, and we're not going to let you go today, so...
Joking?
No, I'm not, sir. It's just the rules are that you can't get on board an aircraft if you've had a lot to drink. It's not fair on the rest of the passengers. But it's so obvious to me, and I'm not happy, so we're not prepared to do it. You won't be able to fly any time when you're in this condition. Well, I'm sorry, you should have thought about that. I mean, you've obviously had a lot to drink, but it's just not fair. Well,
seashells on the seashore.
yeah, all right, well, that doesn't make any difference to me. You know, you're making me feel ill with the fumes from your breath. You told me you had nothing to drink since yesterday, which obviously was not... So, just follow me, OK?
With this much alcohol inside him, he won't be leaving the island tonight.
Right over here, downstairs, and collect your bag, OK?
After a week on the lash with the lads, he's now stranded in Lanzarote, and it's up to him to find his luggage.
Where'll I get my bag from me? Where'll I get my bag from me? Do you know how to get my bag?
Eventually, he finds his bag, but now he's got to get himself out of the airport and find somewhere to stay, without getting himself into any more trouble.
Well, police car, That's a police car or a taxi.
And trying to jump the taxi queue just gets him turned away again, this time by the airport police.
We are now boarding. Please have your passport.
As Jill boards the flight to Birmingham, David is left at the end of the line in Lanzarote.
I reckon the flights are overbooked. Doing that must be how it worked, because I weren't drunk, I weren't causing a nuisance or anything. Were I? I just probably smelled a beer, that were all.
The rest of the passengers have noticed him. You know, he was lying on the floor. It's not a nice situation, not very pleasant. And unfortunately, that man can't fly.
It's all part of life's rich tapestry. I'll get a flight tomorrow.
One bad apple spoils the barrel.
Anyway, I could do another day here. It's brilliant. Might have another tattoo done.
Back at the restaurant, Debbie and Richard have got through 3 courses, and he still hasn't popped the question.
Fantastic. Gracias. No, not yet. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Not yet. Put a spoon down. Put a spoon down. I want to propose toast.
To what?
To us. What should we make?
Hello, Richard.
To a long future and to a long future and a fantastic life. I think I must be getting drunk. And this is a ring. Do you know what's inside? Do you want to see it? Sure. This is me asking you to be my wife. Say something.
Yes. Yes.
Nan, it's Rich. Have I woke you up? No, I just ringing to say that Debbie said yes, so she'll marry me. Oh, I just wanted to let you know. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.
Never cried so much with happiness. I got no idea at all.